sucesso do pop inglês. Eu vou começar com os Pet Shop Boys, New Tenant, Prince Love. Very happy to have you on the show.
Very happy to be here.
And I love your outfit, your boots, and I love your jacket.
Thank you. It's just what I feel comfortable in.
And so you can look yourself in the mirror all the time. Fantastic.
That's the idea.
So how many times have you been in Brazil already?
I think this is our 5th visit to Brazil. We first came here 15 years ago to play a concert in Sao Paulo and in Rio.
You are, what, 12 years old, more or less? 12, 13?
A little bit older than that, yeah.
And so you speak Portuguese already?
We can say obrigado.
Obrigado, that's
We
nice.
can say tudo bom. Now, did they understand that?
Sure.
Because I said it in the concert last night in Brasilia. Tudo bom, Brasilia. And no one understood it.
No, I think they did understand, but in Brasilia, you say tudo bom. People say, well, depends, not in the Senate, not in the Congress. No,
they were answering very specifically. Yeah.
And they didn't answer tudo mal, no.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Was it your first time in Brasilia?
Yeah.
It's an amazing town, isn't it?
It is. We were very excited to go there. And we spent all of yesterday, during the day, going around the buildings.
It's a crazy town, really.
It is. It's very unlike...
To make that in the middle of... Because it was built in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a red desert. And then that fantastic town over there.
Well, we're big fans of Oscar Niemeyer's architecture.
Yeah.
Which we've seen in Sao Paulo and Rio. But... all the great masterpieces there.
Yeah.
So,
and the UN building in New York was made by...
I've never been there.
Yeah, it was made by Niemeyer and Le Corbusier. It's fantastic. I love your CD, the album here.
It kind of matches your tie. Is that deliberate?
Well, I didn't want to say that, but I think so. That's true. Look at that. Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you
Obrigado.
For the tribute. It was very kind of you, you know. Pet Shop. Who came up with the title, Pet Shop Boys? Does he speak?
I'm not taking the blame.
He speaks?
He does. No, he does speak. Are you going to answer that?
Well, I'm not taking the blame for that.
We had some friends, and they worked in a pet shop in London, and they used to be referred to as the Pet Shop Boys. And in those days, there was a lot of rap groups, like the Beastie Boys were going then. And we made our first record in New York, and the producer said, what are you called? And we didn't actually have a name. So we said, the Pet Shop Boys. And then the record came out, and that we were stuck with it.
Spontaneous.
It was very spontaneous, yeah.
And it's a great title, but Pet Shop Boys. You've never worked in a pet shop. No. Just friends in a pet shop.
Yeah, actually it was a poodle parlour.
I'm sorry?
It was a poodle parlour called Shampooch.
A poodle parlour.
Parlour.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you watch the...
Yeah.
Clip the...
Only for poodle, just poodle.
No.
Well, that's what they're called in England. Maybe you call it a dog grooming service.
It's called poodle parlour.
Poodle.
Poodle
parlour.
Do you have any kind of ritual or superstitious before going on stage? He looks like he does.
Well, I like to sleep for half an hour or so.
Before going?
Always.
Half an hour?
Chris has to be woken up to do the show.
Room,
Oh.
Before the show, 10 minutes before the show, someone says, has anyone woken up Chris yet?
So if they forget to do it, if you forget to do it, you go in alone, solo.
No, we don't. We never forget. We don't forget.
But you usually get to the theater how many hours before?
Oh, quite a while. 4 hours before, 3 hours before. We do the sound check. We have the catering.
Right.
We have something to eat. Then I have a little, what we call a little snooze, a little sleep.
You did?
Or I read a book. It's very relaxed before the show. And then half an hour beforehand I get ready. And then they wake up Chris and he gets ready.
Go in. But I think the sound thing it's the most boring thing before, isn't it?
The sound check.
Okay, the sound check.
Yeah. Sometimes, actually, it's always boring. It's always boring. I was trying to think of something positive to say about it. But
I'd like to see, who's a journalist here?
I was a journalist for 3 years in the early 80s.
And you were an architect?
A student.
Student of architecture?
Never finished that.
No? And how did you two meet?
We met, not in a pet shop, but in a music shop.
In a music shop?
In the King's Road in Chelsea. And I had a synthesizer, and I needed to have a plug made so I could play it through my stereo system at home.
I see.
And he came in, and we started talking at the counter about synthesizers. And we ended up becoming friends and starting to write songs together.
And then...
So it all revolves, the whole thing revolves around a chance meeting, which always seems sort of amazing, really.
Well, I think that some of the best things in life happens exactly like that. If you plan it too much, you know. And it's great I mean, it's a great feeling to be the duo that sells the most albums.
That's what they said. We never quite believed that. But we think Simon and Garfunkel must have sold more records than us.
I don't know. Because...
yeah, but they finished making records a long time ago, so maybe. Anyway, it's a very nice accolade to have, yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy Brazil.